Hello everyone, I'm Steve, Mark's around. Say hi, Mark.
Hi, everybody!
And this is Smokey, Steve, and Mark. Either welcome or welcome back, and happy Saturday. It is the weekend, so we know what that means. Very, very basic today. Coffee with sugar-free vanilla creamer, and it's lukewarm. It's a little late in the afternoon. And of course, an unfinished basement. So, hope everyone's well, everyone's safe, look after yourselves, look after the people you care about, think a little bit about people you maybe don't know who might be having a hard time. That's my PSA for the day, okay? So, we are going to continue following along with our fair lady, Chantal Marie, Foodie Beauty, Big Beautiful Me, the Daily Chantal, and Foodie Beauty again. Now, this week took quite a different turn than I thought. Finally, there's some smoothies I think going to break through. I've been calling for smoothies for weeks. I guess I jumped the gun. And we'll just see. We'll just see. Okay. There's quite a bit to read, actually, this week, because, well, I only have 5 videos, and if she posts another one during this, we're going to have to cut. I'll watch it, and I'll come back. But her community board lit up a little bit with some strong feelings. So, but we'll just start at the very beginning. So where we left off, it was a week of mukbangs. I gotta be me. I'm doing me. You don't like it, don't watch. And she was eating everything in sight. So the first video from last week when we checked in is just another one of those. And it's a true mukbang. It's eating the works mac and cheese burger with onion rings and wrecking balls, which is a tater tot, a wrecking ball, stuffed with cheese, wrapped in bacon. It's somewhere between probably, I don't know, heaven and a heart attack. It sounds very good. So, no intro. It's not raining donuts in this video. Uh, Everything on her plate was either stuffed with cheese or wrapped with bacon, except the onion rings. And I love a good deep fried anything. I'm the kind of person that would order a sampler platter for a meal, probably. But this looked like, I don't know. And she didn't even have a gallbladder. So, I don't know. Again, true mukbang, all she did was eat and talk about the food. There was no TMI story time, there was no other business going on, there was no prophetic life changes or talking about movies, nothing. Pete's wasn't there, nothing going on. She did talk a little bit about the fast food history. That was another thing that came up last week, that she was a fast food fanatic, a fast foodie, if you will. Connoisseur of all things fast food, interested in fast food history. This was, what we got last week. Old tins, old advertising, stuff like that. So, hence the that. And then there was some discussion over, I guess, what can you say, the nomenclature of whether it's mac and cheese or Kraft Mac, depending on what you would call the stuff that was on her burger. So, my third eye didn't open. Next, my last unhealthy mukbang. So, she ordered Little Caesars. I just almost pulled out my nose ring. And Little Caesars was about $5, if I recall. And she ran up the stairs with the pizza because it gets it over with more quickly. Ran up the stairs. I am not taking a shot at her, but her fitness level, as she's demonstrated, and as we find out later, is such that it's very difficult for her to run anywhere, and the stairs in her own home are pretty challenging. But nevertheless, this is where we're starting. Pepperoni stuffed crust, and she said she was inspired by Nikocado avocado. I don't like Nikocado avocado. Now, he doesn't need me to, because he's filthy rich off of making a fool of himself. What a stain on the rainbow flag. But, she's, I think, inspired by him a little bit in a few different ways, with some of the bodily functions and the other things. At any rate, this isn't about him. So she thinks it's the best value for the money. And she shows off a necklace she's wearing, which, my first gut reaction when a person with a very thick neck and a lot of weight through here, it looked like a choker a little bit, but it had some space. It could have used a little more length, my opinion. She asked a lot of questions in this video. Another one, would you want me to bring back Mystery Mondays? Now, there's been discussion previously about these larger, more robust women and chasing content from each other's channels, whether it's Chantal copying Amber Lynn or Life by Jen's name comes up sometimes. I don't know who brought up this idea first, but I know Life by Jen had a Mystery Monday, and then Chantal, shortly after, shortly before, I don't really remember, came out with a very similar idea. And Chantal's done it before. She'll do a creepy pasta type story and sometimes even eat pasta on a Monday. But she said it's hard because you have to do them well, and honestly, she was half-assing them because she felt overloaded. Maybe from her second job. I don't know. Uh, Comparing chain pizza from Domino's, Pizza Hut, and what was the other one? Little Caesars. I don't eat that much chain pizza to compare it to. But I guess when you're foodie beauty, and being a foodie is part of that, I don't know. Like, we used to get Domino's in college because it was cheap. The last Little Caesars we had around here was built into a Kmart, and Pizza Hut had a good lunch buffet. So on half days of school in high school, we'd go to Pizza Hut. But there's so many like decent mom and pop pizza places around here. You know, it's like saying if you want a really good burger and you go to McDonald's. McDonald's is good for what it is, but when I think of wanting a really good burger, I don't think McDonald's. So I don't know. Okay. Looking for which piece she wants. So she's eyeing the pizza. I talked about this last week when you've got a little food fixation. While you're eating one thing, you're eyeing the next thing of what you want. So it's not enough that I have it in my hand or in my mouth. I'm thinking ahead of where the next bit of pleasure is going to come from, and I only want the sexiest piece. People who like to get the perfect bite off their food. You see Guy Fieri do it. Not that he has a food issue, but you want to get a little of this and a little of this and a little of that. And some people are, very, very particular about their food. Someone named Foodie probably would be. She said she was craving the pizza and should do pizza at least once a week. Put a pin in all this, okay? She needs to get her ring light from the old apartment. There's still stuff at BB's. I'm not even calling it their place. It's not. It's at BB's place. Cut the cord. I know she said it's not that kind of relationship, but I don't know. Different dynamics, different relationships. I remember having to go back to get Tupperware from one of my ex's places, and I was in such a crushed emotional silence going in to get it. I couldn't even speak. I just went in and got it and left. So I don't know. It's like pulling off a Band-Aid. One motion, just right off. That's my thoughts. People were asking how she's doing since the breakup, so she shared a few thoughts about since her and BB have split. She says it gets a little bit easier every day. She doesn't think of him every day. She doesn't really want to get back together, and she's not really sure what he wants, though she doesn't want to speak for him. She's let slip a couple times that he might have wanted a change more than her, for whatever reason, but that it was an inevitable breakup, because they just want different things. I think he wanted a family, and she never wanted kids, regardless of her female reproductive health concerns and whatnot. So they did want different things. And I don't know. She said, he has his side of the story, but he's not very talkative, so oh well. So I guess only her version will be the one that's told. How can you move on with life? Time heals all things. Blah, blah, blah. It's not really blah, blah, blah. It is true. And certain things, in my experience, I'm not, because I want to deal with the topic of lecturing people later, so I'll just relate me, not telling you, substance use and abuse, and we'll put food in this place, because if we want to call, food an addiction, we can't just call it an addiction when it's convenient and not when it's not. Abusing substances like that or using them dulls maturity, dulls grief, because it takes the pain away so you don't have to process it. I had a bad breakup in 2006 that I really didn't get over until, 2010? 2009? Because I was consistently drunk the entire time. Off and on, off and on, off and on, but mostly on. And you don't have to deal with reality. It's a great way to bury your head in the sand and not have to think about real issues that are going on. It monopolizes your thinking time. Even when you're not intoxicated, you're thinking, what did I do? How did that happen? The food hangover, maybe on that end. And then where to get it, the excitement of going, all that kind of stuff. So it does create a nice distraction from emotional pain. So it wouldn't surprise me if someone who had a food addiction really kicked it into gear after a major life event like a breakup. But again, we'll see something a little different from our fair lady by the end of the week. So she's thinking of renting a car to drive to Jollibee. Now, we don't have Jollibee around here. I think the closest one is probably New York City. Probably the same one Cynthia Beaumont went to. So, but it's a 4-hour drive. Now, she likes road trips, as we'll see later. For Jollibee, it sounds extreme, but this is the same woman who, on a craving, went like a thief in the night over the border to go to, what was it, Burger King? Sonic? Something. So it's not that extreme, though it may sound like it. And I do like her road trip videos. There's another one that I really liked that came out this week. So I get it. Though triggering, it's been discussed that it could be a trigger of hers to be in the car because she would eat in the car. Now, there's a couple things on the community board that came up. There's an unbelievably long post, and then there's a shorter one following this pizza. Okay, so I'm going to cruise through this, and, God, is that one really that long, too? Holy shit. Okay, this was the pizza regret one, so I'm just going to cruise through this. I'm not going to really give too many comments. Glasses, no glasses. Hey guys, so I filmed a pizza video, but I don't know how I feel about uploading it. I guess she decided. I am now pretty sick from eating that greasy pizza, and now I don't feel so good about it. Even putting the calories in out aside, this food really does not make me feel well, but I still eat it. Food is a powerful drug. I think I would feel better in every way if I steered my channel in another direction, at least healthy eating-wise, once and for all. It's not an easy decision to do this, which is probably why I have said it many times and never done it. Mukbangs are an easy buck, and I get to eat what I want, but the consequences of this never go away. I would like to eat things that nourish my body and make my tummy feel good and not sick. Right now I am battling with myself between making a decision, but either way, I know I will have to stay firm and consistent with it. These are all the right things to say. However, I've heard all the right things from Chantal before. A lot of us have, you know. I've already paid a hefty price with my health, but I feel like it's not too late to turn things around. Anyway, this is too familiar a post. I will leave you for now. So there's never a wrong time to do the right thing, you know, I think. After a lot of false starts, not only does it totally shoot your credibility with everyone around you, but it shoots your own confidence too. It wouldn't be, I mean, I really didn't think I was going to get well, and I was sick in a lot of ways, more than just one or two. So I needed mental health help, I needed drug and alcohol help, I needed resocialization, like all sorts of crap. And it's challenging to do, and when you failed at it so many times, you get discouraged for even trying because you figure, why get everyone's hopes up? Why get my hopes up? It's all going to crumble anyway. This is the part where I come in just underneath, you know, enabler, where Chantal said she's going to try over. Try to champion someone who says they're trying over. Yes, this is her cycle. No, I'm not optimistic. But people weren't optimistic that I was going to get well. Probably that Mark was going to get well. Or if you did get well, stay well. Now, if you can get well enough to build a life and do things you want to do, that's good. That's recovery. You know, that doesn't mean the problems go away. It just means you address them differently. You make different choices followed by different actions, and you deal with your responsibilities. The consequences of your choices. You know, we can all do whatever we want. You know, I can do whatever I want as long as I can live with the consequences of it. So, in coming at food as an addiction, those are some things that she's going to have to either gain insight on or apply the insight that she has. So, the accountability piece. You know, she says, I don't know. I don't know. We're just going to move ahead. So, a live stream, Sleepless in Canada live. It's 2 a.m. and she's sick from the pizza earlier. So, BB didn't understand food addiction. This is me. I cruise through the live streams because I just can't. So I hit and then stop and then make a few notes about whatever I stopped on and then go and then stop. BB didn't understand food addiction. You know, the shame of her having to hide it. Shaming people doesn't help. A lot of people don't understand her motives in getting well. So the chronically misunderstood, terminally unique part. No plan is good for me. My plan is best for me. Part of being, you know, depressed is neglecting your health. That's very true. And that doesn't, you don't have to be 250 pounds overweight to neglect your health when you're depressed. She's not saying untrue things. She's just not, like, relating, you know, she kind of talks about the issues that she has as though they're happening to some hypothetical person who isn't her. Like she's watching them happen to somebody else. So it's like there's distance between it. I don't know. She hated cleaning her old place, but there's still an ass ton of boxes in her new one, I guess. And apparently she learned French from going to a French Catholic school. Fun facts. All fun facts. Oh, and she wants to go to Africa to see her aunt, who lived in Ghana? Ghana? One of us is right, one of us is wrong. She could do it.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, but it just...
It's a great reason to lose weight.
Yes, it is.
It's a great reason to. So, next video. Summer 2020 road trip. Come with me. So, she's in a gazebo. Okay. I need some coffee. Okay. Travel vlog, showing off her areas. I like the travel vlogs. I do. It's one of the only things that she does that I like. I don't mind her makeup videos. I don't know shit about makeup, but they're okay too. Driving on the Longsab Parkway. I'm mispronouncing that. The background is the St. Lawrence Seaway. Mark and I have actually seen it from the American side. We took a trip to Thousand Islands, actually, and then got lost, and I almost accidentally drove into Canada, because I just wanted to see the view off the bridge, and the next thing I know, I was at customs. And I did a U-turn and turned right back around. They were very kind about it. Canadian folks, they were very nice. So as things open up, she wants to plan and trips and vlog. And as, you know, with COVID, things are shut down, but they're slowly starting to open. She mounted a camera when she made one of her stops on the car, and she went for a walk, and she's looking over the guardrail, and she leans. And she used a still from that as her thumbnail. And the thumbnail had her in a dress, and she looked very large. It actually larger, honestly, than I think she is. The dress wasn't very flattering. The angle wasn't very flattering. But her decision to put it in the thumbnail, she could have used any other picture. There was a whole lot of footage there. Her choice. So, did that draw me in? Well, yeah. I mean, I was going to watch it anyway, but it made me a little curious. So, and, let's see. She thinks that maybe her struggle to get well and to heal can inspire other people too. Maybe. I don't know. You be nice! I can hear him back there murmuring. So she feels like, you know, sharing her struggle, and she could be on the road to recovery. You gotta get in recovery, and then try to stay there. And people recover 1,000 different ways. I am not a 12-stepper myself. I was at the beginning, and I am not now. I don't regret going to those meetings, but I don't regret that I don't go now, either. There's people who use medication, who go to therapy, who go to group therapy, who start at inpatient treatment and then come out. And I'm talking about food, drugs, booze, like all sorts. There's a lot of different ways people get well. There are people who are resilient, who have quit an addiction and don't go back to it, and it's not a big deal. My father smoked for like 40 years and then quit. Like that. I think maybe he was cranky for 2 weeks, and then it was like he had never smoked at all. Nothing. I was not cut from the same stone, obviously. So, on the road to recovery, from what I'm not sure, and by the by, recovery is not theoretical. It's action. It's keeping things moving. It doesn't have to be fast, you know, but moving. I've found that it's simple but not easy, I guess, because how hard is it? Don't eat so much. It sounds simple. You just don't eat so much. It's the mind game that goes with it. I think that's very hard for a lot of us. So, and Chantal mentioned that she wants to have land when she's grown and moved further on in life. It's good to have land. So, and then video number 5, my life as 400 pounds vlog day 1. So here we are again. 2 options here. You're either going to do it or you're not. That's really, you know, do or do not. There is no trust. Wasn't that Yoda or something? Something like that. I don't know. So, another day, another health journey. Hopefully the healthy food she's eating will nourish her body to the point where her skin will clear up and her hair will grow back. I've eaten very healthy before, and I am a bald-ass man. So, maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. She says, welcome to restart who knows how many. Yes, welcome to restart who knows how many. I don't know how many. She said she's very serious at the time about ending the mukbangs. The way the mukbangs often work their way back in is none, then healthy ones, then not so healthy ones that are done on a whim, excused away by emotions, and then they're done out of spite for haters, and then they're done because I gotta be me. And then being me makes me sick, and then kind of it goes back that way. And that's a pattern of addiction. The difference, though, is that it's kind of become a pattern of content, too. So, but her channel is not documenting her addiction exactly. She wants to keep food off of it. But if it's so glaring that it like bleeds into the channel, I'm not going to say she's capitalizing off of it exactly, but she really is, because she's making money off of it. I don't know. I'm making money off of talking about it too. So I try to give it a slant because I know a little bit about addiction and I got some food issues. Will have, sort of have, all that stuff. So a healing journey. Trying to eat foods that have high vibration. Okay. I don't know. She said she's going to fight tooth and nail, not to binge, and that her goals will keep her motivated. The tooth and nail thing, that's the hard part I've found of trying to stop doing a behavior or stop abusing a substance. Doing it tooth and nail only can last for so long, because we're only human. I'm only human. I can only hold on so long before it's like, I just can't stand this anymore, and I just need relief, and the lid on the pot's going to explode. Again, some people are very resilient and can do that. I don't, unfortunately, think that she is quite as resilient, because she's made a lot of efforts on her own, which have all collapsed into a box of pizza. So I don't suspect that that's the way she's going to go. But she is quite stubborn, and while she'll acknowledge that she could use help as a tool, she doesn't often stick to it, even if she does reach for it. So if she's not going to let that be an option for herself, she's going to struggle. She's going to continue to struggle, probably. And her content will reflect that continued struggle. And the requests for accountability holding, which ask people to hold you accountable, and then they do, and then they're haters, and then they're blocked. That's another part of the life cycle of the channel, too. That's how kind of folks come in and come out, I think. Nevertheless, an ad came up in the middle of this for a freaking diet pill in the middle of all this. Anyway, I know. They're like, this is an anorectic. I'm like, okay, whatever. She just wants to be a healthier person. Eat healthier food. Again, high vibration foods, okay? Right now, she's focusing on detox. Eat only healthy foods that promote healing and health. Not just weight loss, but more cleansing, and her stomach's all messed up, and I want to be able to put her own socks on. Now this, tragic foreshadowing. She can't put her own socks on. Her foot hygiene's probably not all that it could be. She has to wait for Pete's to help her put her socks on. This shit needs to stop. She needs to at least get to a place where she can dress herself, because first it's, I need help with my socks. Then it's, can you bring this up to me? I can't get the stairs. Then it's, could you get that out of the microwave for me and bring it over? And then it's a slippery slope to Pete's, can you help me in the shower? And Pete seems like a nice guy, a bit of a pushover, and he still has a thing for Chantal, I think. No relationship there, no funny business, but I think he still has old feelings for her. And I don't think he'll tell her no. And it's good to help people. But it's, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not putting on anybody's socks unless, that's just me. I mean, it's a state of disability that was found. It's like she's eaten herself into a state of disability at this point, which most people are not that sympathetic about. and I can totally understand why. Frankly, I'm not that sympathetic about it either. It's a natural consequence of poor choices over a long period of time. There's undoing it. People get better. I've seen sicker people and heavier people than Chantal get thin, get better, and go on with their lives. But it's usually, at the beginning, a very strong personality change. It's not a radical diet change. It's not that they moved. It's usually that they start to look at the world a little bit differently and look at food differently and themselves differently. So there's a lot of, again, ways people start to get well and think about wellness. But it starts, for me, up here. Even people that get gastric bypass can lose weight and then gain it all back. I had a very close coworker who had the bypass, very large man, probably about 500 pounds, lost 150, and then gained 100 back, and said the bypass failed. So, he's no longer working with us, unfortunately. Just want to be able to put my socks on. what would I would always love. I have a couple questions for Chantal. What would she say to somebody in her position? And I'm not trying to get a snarky answer back out of her. Just what would she say to somebody in her position that would be supportive, helpful, but realistic, and acknowledge previous attempts and failures? Just what would she have to say to herself? Which also put me on another rant. This is a therapeutic tool. And it's a suggestion. It didn't actually work for me, but I've known other people maybe it has. So in a video like this last one where she's health and vibrating food and taking care of myself and nourishing my body, sit down that day and write a letter to your later self. This is the, in case of fire, break glass. In case of pizza, read this. When you're having this good day, write a letter to yourself. This is what I want to do. These are the things I want to do. These are my goals. And invariably, I think, because again, I'm not too optimistic, the pizza shows up again, as if by magic. Read it first. Talk to yourself. Remember these things you wanted. Remember these things that were helpful to you. Remember this is what the goal is. What would you say to yourself when you're sick? Write it when you're healthy, and keep it on hand.
That is a fantastic idea.
I didn't come up with it. I wish I came up with that. I would sound so insightful, or like a total flake. Depends who you ask. She doesn't want to live in the past, and she just wants to vlog and move her channel forward, and she's inspired by her intentions. I wasn't sure what that meant exactly. She doesn't feel good about the food, but she'll defend it in the throes of her addiction. I would defend my use in the throes of addiction. That's not uncommon. If her journey can help someone, great, but we have to take care of ourselves before we can inspire people to do anything. There's nothing very inspirational, if I was inspirational about me as an alcoholic, being sober for 2 days, getting drunk for a week, coming back, getting sober for 3 days, getting drunk for a month, getting indignant and telling you my drinking's my business after 3 days earlier I asked you guys to help me and check on me regularly. So there's again, the interplay between what's going on in her life and how it fleshes out on her channel is so intertwined. And then there's the fact that it's her job is intertwined with it. There's so many things tied together. So, I don't know. However, smoothies are going to be on their way back in, which is very exciting. I'm very excited because I was waiting for the smoothies to come back. She's wearing a new top, actually, in this video. It's horizontal stripes, and it looks a hell of a lot better than that dress she wore when she went out. She's found healthy food in the house. She had a couple oranges and a couple sweet potatoes. I like sweet potatoes, plain, little cinnamon, and one of the only great things that came to me out of going keto was erythritol. Very good on a sweet potato, by the way. Has nothing to do with foodie beauty, I'm just talking out loud. So, it's more crap. It's more healthy food, healthy this. She did a weigh-in. 399.0. She says the heaviest she's ever weighed. Heaviest she's ever recorded. She appears to be the biggest I've seen her. I'm only measuring that by the thickness of her arms, the fullness of her face, and the size of her body. She looks bigger than I've ever seen her. And I'm not passing judgment saying that she's an evil person because she's big, but you don't get that big by not eating a lot. And I'm not judging her. I'm just saying this is no mystery, So she goes grocery shopping. She takes the stairs for some exercise. She could run with a pizza box, but she's very winded just going up and down. She got winded, she had to sit. She gets headaches from exertion. These are very, very bad things. She cuts from the stairs to the car, and she had gone grocery shopping, and she was winded and red as an apple. It was all the very unsexy parts of a channel. She said she went to the store and it put her into a bad mood. Well, not everyone likes grocery shopping, especially if you're wearing masks. I mean, if you have a hard time breathing and then you have a mask on and then you're heavy, who knows if she used a Jazzy or not, She was trading glances with a store employee that she thought was cute. That's fun. It makes you feel like you've got your groove, I guess. I don't know. Mark, do you trade glances with other men and not tell me about it?
Do I what?
Do you trade glances with other men sometimes just to flirt?
All the time.
I mean, seriously though. I don't care. But, doesn't it make you feel like you got your groove?
Yeah.
A little bit?
Absolutely.
I thought so. Well, she had that with some cashier. And I was like, that's a nice thing. boosts your self-esteem. It makes you feel like you still got it.
Yeah, why not?
Assuming it happened, you know.
Yes, that's.
Yeah. And then she got all moved. She was talking about some yogi who had something, and she got all moved and inspired and almost cried and whatever. And then she's trying to stick to foods in the vibrational field, and then she made a long list of health foods, which she won't binge on, and if she changes her mind, will go bad in the fridge. Then she made some buckwheat noodles with peanut sauce and spinach. Now, I'm going to skim through this extremely long post, because we are at the half-hour mark, and see what I can see, because she put out another community post that was incredibly long, and there were some things that needed to be said. If you're wondering why your comments are getting deleted, it's probably because you're a fat shamer and an addiction shamer, or just a shamer, period. I've said this many times before. Yes, I flip-flop, I go on diets, I go off diets, I decide to do mukbangs, I cry about my health problems, all things that don't warrant abuse by strangers who are apparently perfect since they take the time to judge others. I'm so perfect, it hurts. Okay? Don't I say that often, that I'm perfect? People go off on my decision to stop doing mukbangs again as if I committed a crime against humanity. Who's advocating for more mukbangs? Not me.
Who are these people?
I don't. It's the feeders. I mean, who else would be upset? You know. I think people who like her watch her story times and stuff despite the mukbangs. You know, it's one thing to have a meal and chit-chat, but, you know, I don't know. Whatever. I'm not going to be bullied into changing my ways. This is something I will continue to work on despite what others have to say about it. So many people fail at weight loss attempts, otherwise obesity would not be a growing problem in the world. I don't even know why people still even react to this. Is it lack of content? Why do you still do it? Lack of content? People like to see others fail, to point out the obvious, as if I don't know I have a problem, because these judgmental people love to claim that I monetize my addiction, but proceed to exploit mine for views and money as well, under the pretense they are doing the world a favor by calling out the obese of YouTube, while most are still obese themselves. I am under no obligation on my channel to provide any type of content to anyone. Well, yes and no. I struggle every day internally with this back and forth, and I am still struggling to learn how to deal with it. 1 minute I think I can handle eating what I want, provided that I intermittent fast, while the next minute I realize that maybe mukbangs aren't such a good idea. I built my channel on mukbangs, and it's not easy to give up my job. Let's just all get back to reality. Let's all go off YouTube here for a second. Okay. Job. Eating fast food on camera for money. Let's take addiction out of it. Let's take everything else out of it. And calling it a job. Yes, we are in a gig economy and non-traditional times and earning incomes from home. A lot of us work from home, and she has been for a while. Or car. But to consider it like a career change, you know, I don't know. Let's not all take ourselves so damn seriously, okay? You can claim I'm delusional, but so are you, the ones who judge every time one of us obese and very beautiful YouTubers fail our word. If you think failure is not an essential part of success. She runs on a little bit. No, failure can be a lesson and then lead you to success, but when it's, you know, if you're not learning anything from them, then no. It's just continuous failure. Had to vent my frustrations with this type of reception on this platform as someone who is targeted for this. I understand it can be frustrating, but I don't understand why you stay and allow yourself to be frustrated. Just because you feel a type of way does not give you the right to abuse others online by targeting them and making fun of their addiction cycle. People who do this, you know who you are, scream insecurity about their own situation. Yeah. Anyways, I've said enough for now. I may fail 109,283 times, but maybe the next one I'll succeed. Why do people shame others for their hardships? Oh, God. Positivity helps. Negativity of any kind doesn't. Positivity helps. Blowing smoke up your ass doesn't. Coddling doesn't.
Yes.
Yes, I know this is hard. Oh, have the other piece of pizza. I mean, if you're in a treatment setting, they don't indulge all of your wants, because that doesn't help you get better. I mean, if I was in a 28-day rehab and on day 5 I thought, I really want to have a drink, and they say, no, you can't drink here because you're in recovery, and I decide I'm going to go leave and drink and figure it out my own way. What a waste of $6 grand, first. Well, at least in the U.S. I mean, why even bother? Why waste anybody's time? Addiction and eating disorders thrive on shaming, and all it does is make someone want to spiral. No, we're all responsible for our own actions. But I know there are low-life people who hope for that and get hate hard-ons every time that happens. It's okay, stay the awful human being you are. My problem is I'm obese and a food addict, much better than being a hateful scumbag. We won't read too much more into that. Those are only here to leave a steaming pile of negativity on my channel are muted and will stay muted. Well, at least you're not shy. So, what is it? Where do we go from here? What do we think will happen? And what's the lesson in this for all of us? Well, those of us who deal with addiction and food issues can appreciate some of her circumstances. No, we're all unique. We are all a little bit different. The twists are different. My experience is different because of where I live, the country I live in, my gender, my age, my health conditions, the size of my body. All those things are variables that make things different. But sometimes you're just not that damn special. Sometimes you're just a garden variety overeater. Sometimes you are a person with an eating disorder. Sometimes you are a person who's overweight. And those serious things need to be addressed with serious concerns. You know, if I'm a chronic alcoholic, and I have it because whatever compels me to drink. The source of my, addiction at some point doesn't matter because I'm just drinking to drink. So while it's, useful to know some of the origins of what's going on and my motivations, and those things can kind of maybe help me make sense of my behaviors, ultimately the behaviors have to be brought under control by the individual. No one's going to tape my hands to the table so I don't overeat. We have to do those things ourselves. And she is trying, and I like an underdog. And I've seen, like I said, sicker people get better than Chantal. But again, I think it often starts with like a big personality change, like a renewed way of looking at things that is deep and sincere and is willing to stick through difficult things. Like, you can't quit when it gets hard. I like to quit when it gets hard myself. I don't like hard things. I hide a bit of laziness under the guise of efficiency. That's a great way to frame it. I want to do things the most efficient way, which means the fewest steps possible. And I think she might be kind of in the same boat. But if we cut too many corners, we don't go anywhere. We don't get better. And it's not about me convincing you I'm doing well. It's about me actually getting better. So she's gonna have some smoothies. So finally, I get there, and we'll see where it goes. Healthy vibrational food. I don't see this vibrating food thing going very far, any more than the grape lemon fast or anything else.
The what food?
Foods with good vibrations or something. I don't know.
Good vibration food?
I don't know. It's something. Certain foods have certain reactions to your body. It's like on a spiritual level or something. I don't know.
Oh.
I should know these things. I'm such a health nut. So I've got no more to go. This is one of the longer videos I've done. I read a lot. We talked a lot. I might edit some of this out, but if I haven't, thanks to you for taking this long ride with me. So, Mark, any closing thoughts?
I'm here for it. I am here for it. Go, Foodie Booty, go!
I really am here. I want to see her get well.
I do too.
First of all, I don't really dislike Chantal.
No,
I really don't. She's maddening, but I don't. She's probably the kind of girl I would have hung out with, like in college or high school.
I know, me too.
Yeah. I would have,
No, I would love nothing. I think I've said this from the very beginning. I would love nothing more than to see her do a huge turnaround.
Yeah.
Like, I really would.
I would do a 1-hour video, not saying told you so, but congratulating her. If she got her whole shit turned around.
And then she could be that inspiration she said she would like to be,
Yeah.
to other people. It would be really great. So, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Like I said, I'm really not optimistic, but if she is going to get well, one of these times will be the time. One of them will be. So we'll see. We'll see. I got nothing at this point. So I'm going to go, And we're going to probably go to the grocery store, and I'm going to look for foods that apparently vibrate, because that's supposed to be good for me. So thank you all for watching. Please do subscribe. Hit the like button and the bell on your way out so you get the alerts. You can follow Mark and I on Facebook at SmokeySteveAndMarc or on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc. Our email address and our contact info is all listed down below. Thank you again, and we will catch up with you tomorrow. We are going live tomorrow afternoon at, is it 6 o'clock? 6 o'clock we'll be going live, so please do stop by if you can. We'll be on probably for about an hour or so. It's usually a little longer. And feel free to come and say howdy. Thanks for watching. Bye.